Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
And today we're talking about working from home. We all have to do it at some point at the minute during coronavirus to some degree or another. How are you finding it, Melanie?
Not easy. How is it in your little shed, Esther?
Okay, so Melanie thinks that I don't work from home.
But you don't. You work in a shed.
In my own garden, in my house. So I do work from home. The kids are here 24/7 and everything is as normal. The kettle is not too far away. The washing machine, everything that can distract us when working at home is right outside my shed of an office. So working from home is not easy at the best of times. But now that I would say 99% of us have been thrown into it at the deep end, we can find it a bit more challenging.
Yeah, working from home, even when you don't have the kids screaming, fighting, or just generally happily playing in the background, is going to be an issue. I've always struggled, Esther. Truthfully, I've always struggled to work from home. Even when I first started, I would end up going to hotel lobbies or cafes or that sort of thing, just to get myself away, to distract myself from TV, distract myself from my two lovely cats, and the home essentials that always needed doing. I don't know how my husband works from home. I do not know how he does it. I don't.
Well, maybe men have a different switch. I don't know, that just, they see dishes piled up and they just
don't care
straight past them without needing to wash them or stack the dishwasher if you're lucky enough to have one. Maybe they just don't feel the need to wash the clothes on a bright sunny day. Maybe that's more of a maternal thing that we have.
I don't know, but I've never managed to do it successfully. So as soon as I could afford to, I got myself an office. And it's been just over 2 years now that I've had the office, and thank heavens, otherwise my productivity would just disappear into oblivion.
Well, right now you're recording this from the office, but there's nobody else
there. I am
there.
completely alone. There's been nobody in this office for, I suppose, a couple of weeks now, apart from, let me emphasize, there's an extremely good 2-zoned alarm here. Okay. And we also have security guards. So, I'm not worried about coming to the office at all. But, I'm alone. So I feel perfectly safe at the moment.
Yeah. And if you're at home, like you say, your husband works from home the whole time. So obviously your internet must be really good at home.
Oh, it's brilliant. Fiber.
Woohoo. Yeah. We have fiber here as well. But I just feel sorry for those that have been thrown into the home office situation and they don't have good internet.
Or desk space.
Yes, desk space is essential. I mean, working from your kitchen table can...
Or your shed.
Yes, working from your shed. All has its limitations. I mean, yes, when we started, we worked from one of our bedrooms. We have a 3-bedroom house and the kids were in one room and we were in the others. So we used the third one. But that's not ideal either because you don't really switch off at the end of the day. You don't really get started either. You can't hold 9 to 5 hours while working from home. Do you find that?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the first few years, as you're building up and developing, you don't want to stop. That's part of the issue. And the other part is you feel if you don't put in the time at the beginning, there's going to be no return. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm still putting in effort hours in the weekends and in the evenings, but there's less need for me to do it so now because I'm better organized. I've got strategies in place, scheduling in place. I know roughly when I'm going to be starting and finishing my blogs, that sort of thing. It's a completely different kettle of fish when you first start a business because you're literally throwing yourself in at the deep end and you are the CEO, the accountant, the window washer, the tea maker, you're anything.
Tea maker.
You are absolutely everything at the beginning.
Yeah.
And
you have to be online, or you feel at least that you have to be online 24/7,
absolutely,
so that people can see you and people can get to know who you are. Once you're a more established name and people go looking for you, then you start to ease off a bit. But do you find that clients these days have also moved their work schedule to a different
definitely. I've
time
noticed
frame?
more and more people are changing their hours, especially the people with families. I wasn't, a part of my head was going to say the women, but it isn't just the women, it's the men as well.
It's
The
not.
people who've got kids at home, I find, are invariably only available in the afternoons.
Yes. Yes.
And, that's men and women. And that's because they're making themselves available to the kids, because the kids need to be looked after first. It's their mental health
Yeah.
we have to worry about as well. And their education, of course.
Yeah, not to mention the school, the things being sent from school. Let's not talk about that. That's just...
Yeah, let's not, because that's one all by itself, in fairness. But no, I honestly think the best way for businesses to work from home now is to give themselves bite-sized time slots, if you like, for certain types of work. So, okay, I need to get my account sorted out. I need to get my VAT ready for the end of the month, let's say, or I've also got some quotes to get out to people, some blogs to write. If you can try and commit yourself to maybe chunks of time, so 2 hours for this, 2 hours for that, or even if you really like to change it up, maybe 1 hour to do one thing, a short break, and then another hour to do something else. And I find just really, really small micro goals, ticking them off as you're doing them really, really helps. I mean, what's working for you, working from your shed?
Working from home in my garden. Well, it's great now. At the minute, the weather has been so good that I can at least, the kids can be out in the garden and I can see them from the door of my office in the garden. And I can be watching over them, but I can still be getting a bit of things done. I can be sending those quotes. It can be doing... I break it down even further and just do half-hour slots because my kids are younger, so they need a little bit more. And I generally find that every half hour they're asking for a snack anyway. So, they also help me to break up the day. But I think one of the things that I would really, really sort of emphasize for people who are not used to working from home is that don't beat yourself up over it. If you don't get all the work done that you would normally have done in your office, whether it's in your garden or in a physical office in a town or city, don't beat yourself up over it, because it's just not possible. It's not the same environment. It's not the same time frame that you should be giving yourselves. And there's other people that can get everything that they would have done in an 8-hour day done in 3. So they're finding it, they're more productive at the minute.
God, if only that was me. 8 hours condensed into 3 hours. Well, I suppose you kind of have to be now, because you're not getting the phone calls you used to. You're certainly not getting people walking off the street if you were in a shop.
Walking in off the street, no.
So maybe some people can actually finish their work in a few hours per day,
Yeah. And I think a lot of people might not even go back to their physical offices after this is all over, because they'll have figured that, I can do so much more from home, whether it's in your pajamas or fully dressed. But they might find that they can actually get more done and be more productive and save money by not paying the rents and not buying the coffees and the teas and everything out and about. So, I mean, it might be a win. That's obviously
absolutely.
If they have good internet.
Well, if they've got good internet. I mean, I've saved money on parking, on snacks and meals out, travel, obviously, because I'm not traveling anywhere now. So I genuinely think this trend of working from home, people will be forced to get used to it, and they will adapt, and there'll be more and more people buying stuff to go out into their garden. More sheds.
Absolutely. More sheds. I highly recommend it. But as well, I would also like to say, to those bosses that are going through this for the first time, that are working with remote teams and stuff, don't stress it. There are plenty of platforms out there. that can help with the productivity, and plenty of things that we've talked about in other episodes of things that we use all the time. We're not affiliated with
No.
any. We don't promote. We're not getting paid by them. We pay them, if anything. Should be getting paid for it, really. But find what works for you. Don't stress the little things and just roll with it. It's all we can do right now.
Yeah, I essentially, we're all struggling, but it is a way of life that we've had to adapt, and there is still a way to market safely and effectively from home. So please don't give up.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week for more Monday morning marketing.
Bye for now. I always wave, that's weird.